So we take a look at some of the big transfer lines coming our way today. Myself, Bobbie Jackson and Jack Ogalbe will be looking at a couple of Premier League clubs and some of the business they're trying to do between now and the end of the summer transfer window. Of course, that deadline drawing ever closer. August the 8th, 5 p.m. is when the clubs have until to do business this summer. I'm going to start off by talking about Manchester United, and Romalu Lukaku is a player that's been heavily linked away. We've spoken about that plenty of times already. There's still a gulf between United and Inter Milan in terms of valuation. But United, in the meantime, have been drawing up a list of targets to replace Lukaku should he go. They don't want to be left underhanded in attack if the Belgian departs. So Moussa Dembele, the Lyon striker, is the latest to be linked with them. He's only 23 years old, fits in with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's approach at the moment of bringing in young talent. He was signed for Lyon for around about 22 million euros. You'd imagine he's going to go for double that type of price now, having scored almost a goal every other game in France. He's played for Celtic, he's played for Fulham, so he knows the British game well.
Absolutely, and he's a fine player, isn't he? He did it in the Champions League last season for Lyon. I think one of Man United's big problems is we don't quite know what the figure will be for Lukaku, how a deal will be structured, but 75 million is what they pay for him to sign him from Everton, and Lyon will be fully aware of that. They've just sold Nabil Fekir to Real Betis, so again, they're not afraid to get rid of the big players. I think it's part of their model is regenerate. They've got some great players coming through as well, and I think he will be a good fit for United. He's a different profile, I think, to Lukaku. He's not as physical, but he's got the pace that you said Solskjaer loves so much.
Yeah, fantastic signing it would be. I've also been looking at a player Crystal Palace might be bringing in, and that is Mbaye Diagne. This is all depending on Wilf Zaha, similar to the story we've just brought you about Manchester United. He's at Galatasaray at the moment, a forward player. Only joined them in January for around about 10 million euros. He's been linked away now. Galatasaray not looking to make a huge profit, around about 13 million euros. The issue seems to be he's demanding around 5 million euros a year in terms of salary. He's also looking to try and take a bit of the transfer fee, a cut of that for himself.
Yeah, well, this is something that's developing, isn't it, at the moment? It seems that every deal, there is a different part to it. A player might want a bit of extra money. The agent's fees are always huge. Crystal Palace, they need a centre forward, I think. Christian Benteke, it's not quite worked for him. They've tried others. Connor Wickham's got his fitness problems. There's been talk of Danny Welbeck going there as a freebie, but wherever he's got the fitness record, whether they can rely on him, you can't be quite sure. You mentioned Wilfried Zaha. Today he's been linked with Manchester City. Also Everton interested, and that could be an interesting one, I think, for Palace, because there's talk of Saint Tosun being involved in that deal, and like we say, Palace really do need a centre forward, whether it's with the main man or just a bit of depth up front. Wilfried Zaha, would he want to go to Everton? He wants to play Champions League football. I'm not entirely sure, if I'm honest.
Yeah, it's difficult to know, isn't it? Because, I mean, the clubs he's being linked with at the moment, let's look at them. Arsenal, one of them, don't have Champions League football to offer. Manchester City have been sort of briefly mentioned, but that's all depending on Leroy Sané going, so there's a lot of cogs that need to be moving in the right direction for him to be going there. So for me, Everton seems a really good option. He's likely to get regular football. I think they're playing a good brand under Marco Silva. And he's maybe not got the amount of pressure that he would have at an Arsenal. He can go and settle in. Maybe that bigger move comes in a year or two afterwards.
Well, like you say, I think it could be a good stepping stone for him. I think that was the plan for Yannick Bolasie when he left Palace for Everton. Zaha, of course, already had a go at a big club. He signed for Manchester United. He was a young man, and he was unfortunately caught in the transition between Sir Alex Ferguson and David Moyes. Didn't get as much minutes as he would have liked. A couple of loan spells didn't quite work out, but Everton could be maybe a decent option for him. I think finally we're going to have a look at Toby Alderweireld, who's been in the headlines. You're never quite sure about his relationship with Maurizio Pochettino. There's a season in 27-18 he barely played because they're uncertain about his contract. Speaking about his contract, he did have a release clause of £25 million that expired on Thursday. Roma were thought to be interested, but Manchester United is still thought to be keen. And for me, Bobbie, Eric Bailly's just got injured. They need a centre-half.
Yeah, I mean, they've been chasing Harry Maguire all summer, haven't they? Looks as though they're going to have to pay £70 to £90 million for Maguire. I have no idea why they didn't go for Alderweireld earlier in the summer when they could have got him for that £25 million release clause. it was a snip for a player that is so highly rated in the Premier League. He's done really well for Tottenham. He has even played at right back at times earlier in his career, so he is versatile enough. I think United have missed a trick. They could have paid 25 million for him, then they'd have had 50 million or so spare, if you like, to go and spend on other players, other targets to enhance the squad in different areas. So I think United have really missed the boat on this one. I'm sure they're going to continue to assess the options that are available as central defenders. Maguire, though, seems to be the top target for them.
He does seem to be the top target as well. Alderweireld, just thinking about him, they want to play with pace. He's got wonderful delivery from the heart of the back four. He knocks it over the top, and he could play the likes of Rashford and Martial in.
Yeah, it would be a great signing, but we'll have to wait and see what happens, as we say, until August the 8th. These clubs have until to do business. Thanks for joining myself and Jack as we've taken you through the big transfer lines of the day. Do make sure you follow us on social media and hit that subscribe button on YouTube.